Hey everybody, how are you? Oh my gosh, it is a gorgeous day out, and because it's a gorgeous day, I thought that I would do another fabulous flashcard fun moving and grooving Monday with you, because why not? It's Monday, let's move, let's groove. I hope you all had a fabulous weekend. And are feeling great and ready to move. So first things that we need to do, always have to put our thinking caps on, our listening ears, our magic dust, and our crowns. Yeah, it sort of gets us ready and gets us feeling good, and everything in line. And while, even if you're listening and sitting down right now, I want you to think of your shoulders, ribs, and hips in one straight line, and your spine is as if someone were doing massaging your spine. It's getting longer and taller. Oh my gosh, and you probably have grown a whole inch already. Yeah. So my flashcards today are more of steps that maybe, because our other flashcards were demi-plies and tendus, dégagés. And don't forget that we want to make sure that we practice those all the time as well. Squeezing from the backs of our thighs, lengthening through our legs and our toes, backs of the ankles. You can practice working your feet. Actually, I didn't even tell you last time. Here's a really great trick. If you take a pencil and you put it on the floor and you try and pick your toes, pick the pencil up with your toes, it's a really good trick to keep and stretch those feet. Yes, and we want to keep stretching and all those good things. But I thought I'd share with you some other really great vocabulary words that you hear a lot in the ballet world, but transcend to different techniques, such as jazz, such as contemporary, all those good things. So let's get started. The first major thing we're going to think about, and this happens, it kind of makes you really use your brains. We're going to ask ourselves, what are the 5 elements of dance? So that's a big one, 5 elements of dance. You're like, that's not science. Well, actually, dancing has a lot to do with science, which a lot of people don't know. Because our body is made up of so many intricate bones and muscles and directions in our body, we have the 5 elements of dance. So the 5 elements of dance are our body, the time. So think of time as how fast or slow a movement is. The action of the step. Is the step soft? Is it sharp? Is it strong or more fluid? So that's the action. And our next element is space. So how far does our step travel? Does it travel forward and back? Does it travel up and down? Does it travel in a circular pattern or in a straight pattern? So that's our space. And our last element is our energy. So there's lots of different types of energy when we're dancing. You can have what's called a static energy, which we describe it as more of a flat energy. So it doesn't really go anywhere. A dynamic energy, which is mostly what we want to use when we're dancing, really goes up and down and all over. And just, you can have a soft energy with still having all of your movements be really strong and meaningful. So that was big, but it's really important to know, because if you can think about those 5 elements, it really helps you. So our 5 elements are body, time, action, space, and our energy. Good, really good job. Okay, so our next word that we're gonna learn is, of course, since ballet is in French, is devant, or devant, if I was pronouncing it correctly. And devant means simply in front of. If you are watching me, you're technically devant of me. Okay, so devant means in front of. Derrière is the next one. Derrière, if devant means in front, derrière means, that's right, in back of. Now, a lot of times, I use the word derrière meaning your bottom or your bum. That's right, squeeze the derrière in your back of your thighs. That's a good way to remember it. Now, our next word, and we're gonna do this in a second, is cambre back. That's right, cambre back. Cambre back is when we actually literally pretend like we're bending over like a big tree or a big beach ball. And it simply means that you're bending like your head back. That's all it is, you're bending backwards. So we know demi-plie, tendu, little brushes are dégagé, rond de jambe we did last time. And in between that, we have frappe. Frappe, 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 right? With a little accent, a little different energy. Frappe means to strike. So you take your foot, and since we know coupe and passe, we actually put it in a coupe position. Then we do ball of the foot, and then we strike the floor. And frappes help us with our jumps and anything in the center, getting us up onto that one leg. It's really, really, it's a good step to use, and it works your leg muscles a lot. Our next word is fondue. And this one you could really remember, because fondue means to melt. That's right, it actually does. So I'm going to show you fondue in our dance world. We bend and we straighten and extend our legs at the same time into a position. And what we actually want to do is think about and visualize that our body is, our legs are melting, and then we're stretching. So exactly like cheese fondue, or if you like chocolate fondue. I'm a big fan of chocolate these days. Now, our next word, attitude. Now, believe it or not, tell you a little secret. My first real word, well, as my mom says, was attitude. I started dancing very, very early, and I guess it was just in my head because I heard it over and over again. It wasn't mom or dad. Attitude. That's right. So attitude, instead of extending our legs straight and lifting, what it is just a different position, and we bend our leg slightly at the knee. Okay, we're going to do it together. Now, once we go through attitude and our frappe fondue attitude positions, we learned développé last time, which was like coming up through the coupe and passe and extending, and we get to our grand battements. Technically, we've kind of accomplished a full bar. There's some other elements in there too, but for our purposes, we've gotten all the elements at the bar. Then we move to the center and we do an adagio. We learned about adagio walk, which was a slow walk. So adagio in the center is essentially a slow movement. So you'd probably do some harder steps in the center. And then once you get there, after you do that, then we usually go to, across the floor, and you come across this word, balance. So balance, yeah, that's a good one. Balance. It's done to a waltz rhythm. So a waltz rhythm is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And it's literally a down, up, up motion. Almost as if like you're sweeping. You sweep down and up, sweep and sweep. Yeah, and I'll show you that later too. And here's a fun one. Pas de chat. Yeah, pas de chat, step of the cat. That's right, now you get to think about what a cat looks like when they're moving. Yeah, pas de chat is a jump, technically a jump, and you can do them small, or you do have a regular pas de chat, and then you have what's called a grand pas de chat, which is done in a grand allegro. And don't forget, grand means big. Yeah, grand means big. Our next step is glissade. Glissade. Yeah, glissade means to glide. So our pas de chat, step of the cat, goes up real high and comes down. Our glissade is sort of like a chasse, except we release our legs differently. And our glissade, you kind of glide straight across the floor. It's actually the farther you go from side to side, the better your glissade. So those are our steps for today. And now we're going to do them together, okay? So our 5 elements of dance, and we have our devant and derriere, yeah? And now we're going to go through the rest of the steps that I just said to you, and we're going to do them together. So the first one is our cambre back. So cambre back, shoulders, ribs, and hips, yeah? In one straight line. Now you can do this in first, in second, in fourth position, in fifth position, really any position. But what it is that we're taking our shoulders and we are lifting straight up and then reaching over and back. Okay, now you don't have to go far back. It's really just the motion you want. And it's actually strengthening your tummy muscles. And so remember, you're not going to push your hips forward when you do it, right? Everything else stays super strong and still, and it's just that lift and reach in your back. Next one, frappe. So the frappe, I'm going to do it from first position, okay? Ball of the foot, and you put it towards your ankle. Good. And you can do ball of the foot, and you're going to strike the floor, and your leg goes straight out. Then you bring it back in. Ball of the foot, and strike it. And believe it or not, this is a step that the more noise you make it pushing against the floor, the better. You can do it to the front too. Front, to the side, and to the back. Good. Fondue to melt. Fondue to melt. So here's where we learned our développé last time. So développé, right, straight up and extend and lower. So fondue, we actually take the foot, sort of like how we started from the frappe, and we melt. Now the trick is to straighten your legs together. Yeah, and it doesn't have to go high. So we fondue, extend, and stretch. Now the working leg, that's the one that's moving, has to move farther, so we have to move it a little faster, okay? Next one, attitude. It's a fun one. Now, our attitude, I said, was with the bent leg. So we still can go through the développé to the passe, and you stop right at the bent attitude position. If I kept going, it would technically be a développé. But if I'm stopping right at the attitude position, there's attitude side. Good, and then you put it down. You can also brush from the first and up. So when we do our swings, we brush from front to back. That's right. You can even brush attitude side as well. Good. All right. Balance. Here's where we really get to move. Stretch those arms. So you're going to stretch your leg out. You can go down to the coupe. Good. And you go up. Reach and stretch. Down. That's right. And up. up, and you go down. Stretch, stretch, and down, up, up. Good. So that's balance A. Pas de chat. So you're going to start with your right foot back fifth, arms in third. You're going to take a nice demi-plie, coupe, you bring it up to passe, jump, and bring it down. Pas de chat. Good. Now when you go fast, up, up, down. There you go. And you're going to jump a lot higher than I am, right? Now our last one, glissade, yeah? Glissade. So remember I said pas de chat goes up real high. Glissade, and you're going to stretch your leg out to dégagé position, push to that leg, and you come back. So switch your legs, so you're going to start with your leg from behind. You brush, you push to that leg, and you close. Now, of course, you can always practice your demi-plie jumps in first and in second, right? And we also have échappé, which is we jump from first to second and back to first again. Yes. Now, don't forget when you're jumping, very, very important that you always begin and end a jump with what? Yes, demi-plie. And we must roll through the feet. Yes, okay? Keep the upper body lifted out of the hips, and we roll through the feet. That's it. So those are really our great new words for this lesson. And don't forget, keep practicing the ones from before so you can add on, okay? All right, so that was awesome, and you guys did so great. And I can't wait to our next one. Sound good? Hope you guys have a great week, and I can't wait to see you again soon. Bye.